Roll call, Mr. Karati?
Mr. Raccomando,
Present.
Ms. Borelli, Ms. Ainello,
Present.
Mr. Laurentino,
Present.
Ms. Mahoney,
Here.
Mr. Shearer, Ms. Torvik,
Present.
Ms. Traverso,
Here.
Ms. Zattarelli.
Present. Please rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been sent to all members of the Board of Education and to the Bergen Record in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, 1975. At this time, please be advised that all cell phones and electronic devices should be silenced or vibrating, whatever. Okay, student representative report.
I'm just going to start off with my apologies to the board members here that I did not send you an email with the name of our new student representative. We have joining us this year Julia Corcoran, who's a junior at our middle school, high school, and returning is Olivia Last, who's a senior at our middle school, high school. So congratulations to Julia and Olivia for returning and being our Board of Education student reps. And I'm going to give you guys the floor to share news from our schools.
Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Olivia Lash, and I will be reporting on all three elementary schools. So all three elementary schools, they all had a great start to the school year this year. Students are currently settling back in, and grades 3 to 6 are now getting their Chromebooks, and classes are starting to form their new communities. The elementary schools are also looking forward to their back-to-school nights. Franklin School's back-to-school night is going to be Tuesday, September 26th. Smith Schools is going to be Wednesday, September 27th. And Long Schools is going to be Thursday, September 28th.
Hi, I'm Julia Corcoran, and I'm going to be reporting on Washington School. Preschoolers at Washington School are settling in very well so far. Mornings are filled with the whole school SEL time, which includes the flag salute and a group song and dance. Back to school night had a wonderful turnout, and parents were able to see classrooms and meet their child's teacher. The Washington School staff is working very hard to implement a new school-wide positive behavior support system to align with the Nurtured Heart approach, which is to teach and reinforce social emotional skills. Students are loving playtime and are on the playground every day.
Now for high school announcements. Class meetings. So on Wednesday, class advisors gathered their high school students by their class to discuss their plans for the upcoming school year. Fundraisers and events were planned and are currently in motion.
For 9/11, the 10th grade students watched a documentary called 102 Minutes That Changed America, and then the next day they were able to ask Captain DeSantis, who was a New York City fireman, questions about his experience with 9/11.
Also, there was back to school night. Last Wednesday, the high school held their back to school night, and this gave parents a chance to meet their children's teachers and learn about the curriculum.
Our high school students were able to celebrate the fall athletics with the pep rally. Different grades were able to enjoy tug-of-war, water balloon toss, and name that tune. The band and color guard were able to perform, and as well as the football cheerleaders. Our homecoming game is September 30th at 1 p.m. And make sure to check out the website for schedules regarding our fall athletics.
Also, the day before the homecoming football game, there's the homecoming dance, and this is going to be held at the high school from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Tickets are going to be sold on the 25th to the 28th during 6th period in room 103.
Thank you to our student reps.
Thank you, girls. Superintendent's report.
I am going to start with the presentation for this evening. So I'll ask everyone at the table to please transition over to the chairs so that we can present on our graduation and referendum updates. Thank you, Mr. Karate. Okay, so I'm presenting two pieces tonight. The first is on our high school graduation data from last school year. So our Department of Education, our State Department of Education, they track graduation data trends for a graduation cohort from the moment they begin in ninth grade. So every ninth grader is placed in that cohort. And then as we have students enter the high school or leave the high school, they factor that in as well. So our graduation rate for the class of 2023, right now as it reads, is 94.6%. This is wrong. And what you do is you do an appeal. So the appeal is currently pending NJDOE approval. It actually is an increase from the previous year, which was 91%. And the reason why it's wrong is because they counted our special education students who are mandated to stay in our system until the age of 21. So they count them as not graduating because they're included in that cohort class. So they're counted as not graduating. Same as our English language learners. They're entitled until 18 or 21, but they're also included as part of that class. So because they're part of that cohort, we file the appeal, and then as it turns out, and then there's also state graduation. There's a state formula for graduation rates, and there's a federal formula for graduation rates. This is the state one. So as it turns out, the actual facts are 137 students total were in the class of 2023, and 134 of those students graduated. Going to let you, so if you have any questions on that. Yes.
So do we file an appeal every year, or this just happened this year?
This is for this past year. I would have to look into see if we do it every year. I'm not sure. Our Mrs. Jenkins, she has been working all last year and beginning of this year on cleaning up our NJ Smart data. That was an area in which our district was very poor in. We had a ton of errors, and that's been one of her roles over the past year, is cleaning up that data. She's doing a fabulous job with it. Yes.
Now, that data is not up to date, though. What year is that data pulled from? So if you pull it up now, that's not necessarily from this past year, is it?
For NJ Smart, we're currently submitting this year data.
This year's data. So what year is it currently on right now? If we were to look it up today, right this minute, what year would the information pulled from? 21, 22, 20, 21?
If you were to pull it, I'm not understanding. Pull it up from where?
Like if you were to look up our information on that website right now.
If I log into NJ Smart, it's our current data. You wouldn't have access to that.
I would, so
Not yet.
The community wouldn't have.
Not yet.
Okay. When would we have that?
Well, this is from last school year. It just came out now, so.
All right, so what the community looking in and seeing is very outdated.
Yes. Yes. This is past data. Any other questions before I move forward? Okay. So we're going to share some referendum updates. And first, I'm going to start with the goals. So what we did was we took our strategic planning that we did a couple years ago. We're on year 2 of our strategic plan. And the way our strategic plan works is it's a 5-year plan. So year 1 was last year, we're in year 2. So when you go through our strategic plan, you can see all the items that we said we were aiming to complete for year 2. So these are the goals. I'm not going to read them to you, but this is what our strategic plan consists of. And then what we did was we took those year 2 items and we came up with I think first I have our district goals. So these were the district goals that were recently adopted, and they stem from those strategic goals. Again, you can go through them. Some of them are similar to what we've had in the past. We're continuing with social emotional support. We are continuing with the data-informed instructional programming. Mrs. DeBonis has been working very hard with our grade levels, and we're also providing a lot of professional development to our staff, which is great. The threat assessment team is that new team that the governor it's mandated in every district, so we're starting with that. So that's also one of our goals. And then we also recently adopted the Board of Education goals. And their goals are to be more visible by attending more school and community events. Oh, I did see when I was driving on Market Street, the flag says that there's a street fair October 1st, so I'll be having my office include that on your calendar. I increased the number of presentations at Board of Ed meetings by students and staff. And then to create a schedule of community updates at board meetings to review progress on referendum projects and strategic plan initiatives. So that's what we're doing. This is night one of that. So our referendum projects completed thus far. Over this past summer, in our middle school, high school, the bathrooms on the second floor have been renovated. So we have a brand new girls' bathroom, student girls' bathroom, and student boys' bathroom upstairs. I believe there's 5 stalls each. The boys may have 2 urinals and 4 stalls, something similar to that. We did ceiling and lights at our middle school, high school, and we did the security office in our middle school, high school. At Franklin School, we did the ceiling and lights. At Smith School, the ceiling and lights along with security upgrades at Long and security upgrades at Washington. So now every single one of our buildings has an office area where there's a window and the box. So no visitor has to enter the building. So every single school right now has a vestibule area where the visitors do not need to enter the building. I included this because it shows all the other projects that we're completing over the summer, and I just wanted to acknowledge how hard everyone here has been working. And you can see all the updates that we are making. So these are not part of the referendum, but it doesn't mean we stop doing everything else that we do every single summer. So these are some of the projects you can see at the middle school, high school. All the blue lockers have been repaired on both floors. We're working on the HVAC and installing AC in the main gym. It's supposed to be done by the end of the month, fingers crossed. At Franklin School, you can see we've done a lot of concrete work at almost each of our buildings over the past summer. A lot of bathroom work, the flooring of the media center. At Smith School, we did the ceiling and lights in the media center, more concrete renovations, and the AC in the gym. At Long School, we replaced the fencing in the back and some of the concrete areas. We replaced bathroom partitions in the boys' room, and then some more media center renovation work. And then at Washington, we painted most of the first floor and replaced tile. So moving forward, what's on our agenda? Our turf field and lights. So we have applied with the department, with the state, and we are hoping, if all goes well, that we will hear back from them, receive approval by December. January, the latest, and then be able to start at the beginning of the next calendar year. So that is our goal and our hope. And we are going to start, I believe the architect's going to start looking for some bids so that we can approve. So as soon as we get the state approval, we can just move right forward, and then it'll be done. It will be completed in time for our high school graduation. So Washington School, next summer, we'll be renovating the second floor of Washington School to make those 4 classrooms useful. We'll put bathrooms inside those classrooms. We'll put an elevator, and that way we can expand our preschool program, and we'll have 4 more classrooms upstairs at Washington School that will be used, whereas right now they're just used for storage. Coolidge School is going to be renovated as soon as we're done drawing up the plans. So we've been working with the architect because that's something that we don't have to wait until the summer. So we've been working with the architect for this. And what we're going to do is we're going to move my offices, Mr. Karate's offices, out of the middle school, high school. So right now they're part of our building. We're going to move them out so that way we can create more classroom space for our students here. So that was, if you look at Coolidge School, if you know it, it's rather small. It was the original school, I suppose, in town, where it's like 2 classrooms. So when you walk up the steps, there's 1 classroom to the left and 1 classroom to the right. So we are going to renovate that. We are going to do a conference room in the basement where we can host PD sessions and create Renoview for the district that way, where we can host for other towns as well to attend. And then what that would do also is move the directors over to the one side of central office, because right now they're also in this building. So moving those directors over to the one side of the central office, we're still not sure, nothing's finalized yet, so we're not sure what's going to happen, but that could potentially be another classroom space, and then what the directors are is a classroom space. So we definitely have 1 larger instructional space for our students, maybe 2. So we're still finalizing those details. And then we are going to be moving forward soon with the partial window replacements at the middle school, high school, which was all part of the referendum. And that is essentially what I have. So any questions on our referendum projects?
Just for them or the public too?
We'll wait for public comment.
Right now, can I make a comment?
No, right now, just the board members. Thank you.
That's just the basement, the main floor, that's it?
Yes.
Do you have any idea what plans for those for like classrooms, like aviation classroom or some other type?
We started talking about different ideas. Ton of different ideas circulating around. Moving people, maybe moving the chorus room, to create more storage for the music department, because right now their stuff is in the hallway. So we're, again, tons of different ideas. We spoke about STEAM labs, aviation labs, we're not quite sure. Our goal is to bring back some of the programs that we see our students are leaving for. So we're looking at the programs that Bergen Tech offers to see if we can start growing those programs here. So we are starting that culinary grant. We're going to start an after-school culinary program. And our goal is hopefully, we have a bunch of teachers that signed up to teach it, and hopefully we can get someone certified. And then that's our goal, not a guarantee, but that's what we're looking to do. Is we're actually analyzing, we're looking at the data of our students that are leaving the district to go to Bergen Tech and schools like that, and that if we offer the programs here, they'd be able to stay with us. Any other questions? It's a process, but we're getting there. Yes.
So in Coolidge, the downstairs, that would be like what Paramus has as far as like the.
That's the goal.
monthly
Yes.
revenue of the other districts coming to get trained.
That's the goal. We probably have to build ourselves up there, but that is the end goal. Okay. So that is the end of the presentation. We will all come back here, and I just want to continue with my updates once we all sit. Thank you.
Yes, please. Just my guess. I don't know the one. Took me a while.
Okay.
Now the superintendent's report.
Thank you. I wanted to share that our Smith School is piloting a therapy dog program, and it's on Wednesdays, so I happened to be at the school this morning, and I did see Tom, the therapy dog, in action. It seems initially to be a huge success. Our students are really working to be able to spend time with the dog. It's really calming down a lot of our students that are having difficulty acclimating to the school, and it seems to be going as smoothly as it possibly could. So I want to thank Catherine Plummer, the teacher there. It's actually her therapy. It's her dog. She trains them, and she is bringing it with her. The dog's following Miss Plummer right now around the school. He's sticking to her schedule, and when she has prep and lunch, she's going into the other classroom. So we are just piloting that program, and hopefully it'll be a success, and we will be able to expand it. The digital directory that I sent out, I want to thank the parents. It was for pre-K through 6 who completed it. I do have, I closed it up, and now I will be organizing that information and sending it out. So I'll be sending it out to the parents who opted to complete the form in that school building. And that will go out to our parents that did complete the form. They put in their contact information. And that way, it's a way a lot of our new families did request this. So that way they can reach out to their child's peers and set up play dates and get together with them. So we thought it'd be a nice community building thing to try out in our district. And then a reminder to everybody that this coming Monday, September 25th, we are closed for Yom Kippur. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Violetti. Mr. Karati?
No report.
No report tonight. Okay. Motion to open the meeting to the public for agenda items only.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Residents are requested to state their names, address, and subject matter. In the event it appears the public comment portion of the meeting may exceed 45 minutes, the presiding officer may limit each statement made by a participant to 5 minutes duration. Issues raised by members of the public may or may not be responded to by the board. All comments will be considered and a response will be forthcoming if and when appropriate. The board asks that members of the public be courteous and mindful of the rights of other individuals when speaking. Specifically, comments regarding students and employees of the board are discouraged and will not be responded to by the board. Students and employees have specific legal rights afforded by the laws of New Jersey. The board bears no responsibility, nor will it be liable for any comments made by members of the public. Members of the public should consider their comments in light of the legal rights of those affected or identified in their comments and be aware that they are legally responsible and liable for their comments. Now, anyone wishing to speak, please up to the podium. State your name and address.
Good evening. Omar Rodriguez, out of Brook. I would like to start real quick with BS. What BS? BF 1, 2, page 3, please. Is the proof the purchase of a 29-passenger school bus, right? Let me see the logic right here. Who's making these decisions? We are going to pay $97,000, $670. And also we are going to put we're going to trade a 2006 bus, right? However, on the budget, it was the $97,200 or $670 as a lease. But now it's going to be switched, it's going to change because we're going to purchase. Okay, fine up to that. But let's look into the next line item. Authorize a 5-year lease purchase of a 20-passenger school bus, which is smaller than the 29. And it's going to cost us more than $100,000. What are we thinking about? Why not to purchase it? Because after 5 years, we'll have to return it. However, the 2006 bus has been in the school district possession for over 17 years. But now we're going to spend over $100,000, $22,000 a year lease, but we're just going to have to return it 5 years later. So then these 3 items that he's just going to maneuver and try to put the money back into the purchase. Question is, since there is no interaction, why to lease the 20 passenger when we buying a 29 passenger for $97,000 and a tray of a 2006 bus? I'm just gonna pay more money for a 20 passenger seat? Anyway, since there is no interaction, and I have to say it to the public at home, if this is not a friendly board, you guys got elected by the people for the people. Forget about what the professionals might say. Forget about what the board president can say. You were elected. No one can stop you. This is your freedom of speech. Whomever want to interact, no one is going to throw you out. No one is going to take the title away from you. Whomever got to respond should respond. Because they just leave it so that they close the... Hello? Hello? You went out. Hello? You went out. Hello?
Just 1 minute.
Sure.
Right. Excuse us while we have technical difficulties.
Anytime they fix it, I'm gonna allow myself. Just please pass it over. You can just pass it over, please. You're just gonna take a quick look at it and then pass it on. I will be up.
And for the board, while the microphone's being addressed. That is a correction on number 20. It's a 29 passenger. So number 19 is the purchase of the bus. Number 20 is the leasing of that bus. And 21 is amending the budget line.
It's the same bus.
It's just a correction on number 20. It's not, it's on number 20, 2324.20. It's not a 20 passenger bus. It should be a 29 passenger bus. It's the same bus in the one above it and in that one. You have to put on the purchase of the bus, how you're paying for it, and then the amendment to the budget. That's the three items. It's the same school bus.
So it's only one bus?
It's only one.
bus.
Yes.
Oh, you took it. That's okay.
You just can pass that folder around. That relates, that relates. Still, since I'm waiting for the mic, that relates to the Oprah request. 53 pages.
Same.
No. All different. 53 pages on that folder, also that. 53 pages are Oprah. And I'm just going to go on, when the mic comes, how can someone accept that as an Oprah request? We're not in a third world country. Is it that difficult to put in a spreadsheet? But then I'll wait. Thank you, sir. Hello? Hello? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. As I was saying, we just got, I don't know if he went on record, Mr. Karate. Just made the clarifications at 29, not at 20, which is good. Then it brings me into my next subject. At the last meeting, when I address and they wait for the end to make the comments, they say that it's their prerogative to just give it like that and not to give a spreadsheet. For many years, I've been coming here.
Excuse me, President Zottarelli, excuse me. This is just for agenda items only. You could wait to the second one to bring up any other items.
Anything that is related, right? Related to, I know what agenda items are. However, last meeting I was here, and this becomes an item because you're sitting there.
It's not on the agenda. You have.
Oh, it's not on the agenda. Then
You
they're
have
gonna make
an
me wait for the
opportunity
end.
at the end.
All right. Then it brings me to the field then. It brings me to the field. The drainage. The reason I mentioned the drainage, and I believe it was responded, is because it's going to be a new field. The point I was trying to make, no matter how many times we change the field average is just 10 years. But if we don't have proper drainage, it doesn't matter. In 2, 3, 4 years, it could be gone. If we already made that mistake, we have to have the assurance that the proper people do that and not to hire the same people that make mistakes. Someone have to go and walk over that field. Where were the engineers? Look how much water is a disaster. If we go into install millions of dollars again and we don't have proper drainage, might as well don't do nothing. Now, it was just a presentation being made now about Coolidge School and the referendum pass. All right. Months ago, I stand right here and I said that I got information that the Coolidge School was going to be used for what we just heard tonight, that the offices are going to move into Coolidge School. That's not what the referendum said. The referendum is stated clearly It was going to be for the benefit of the students. It was going to be a technology center. How could it be that after the referendum was passed, now things change? Why the administration, when I say administration, upper administration, is not going to be in the school? Why we want to stay away from the students? The problems are here in the school. Otherwise, why don't you just then make yourself an office in New York? Why to run away from children? Actually, it's funny because sometimes you can come to my office. They make it sound so friendly. You go to us for one paper, they slam the door on you, they send the secretaries, you get the information. Ooh, it looks like a fortress. We are the ones that are paying the salaries. If the people cannot handle the heat, it's time to stay home. Don't come right here with a smiley face or try to pat in the back, when actually the reality is different. When you show up your face and go to ask for a report, what friendly face you see there? Hiding under the desk? That's not friendly. Be professional. Show up your face. Some of these administrators are costing us $250,000 a year. With all the benefits, the least that we can expect, we the taxpayers and residents of Sutter Brook, is that they show their face and at least they know what they're doing. And that word tenure that it shows all over, that is not true. That is not true. Because tenure people are now, when they make mistakes, they should be gone. Then I'm gonna save my yes.
Agenda only.
All right,
Only. We're
I
going
will save it for the end. And finally, if this is the one that is going to happen at Coolidge School, then I believe, as a respect to the residents, it should show on the webpage that is being changed of plans and why. Not just to say it here. I believe that all the voters and residents of Sutter Brook deserve an explanation. Why the change of heart? If that's not what it was initially planned, and that's not what initially was sent to the state, that was not going to be the case. Thank you, and I'll be back.
Thank you. Anyone else? For agenda and policies only? Motion to close the meeting to the public? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, under board action items, I'd like a motion to approve 2324.7 to 2324.9.
Second? Or motion?
Roll call?
Did you need different?
We can just do a yea or nay. Any discussion?
Through the chair.
Any questions?
Through the chair, yeah. I think I missed one of these. I think it was the 23rd, I believe. So I'm going to have to abstain from that.
Okay, so abstain from that.
Okay.
Anyone else? Okay, seeing none. Roll call?
Okay, we'll start with Ms. Torbic,
Yes.
Ms. Traverso,
Yes.
Ms. Raccomando,
Yes to all but B2324.7, number 3. Was not here.
Ms. Ainello,
Yes to all.
Mr. Laurentino,
I'm going to vote yes to all, but I'll also abstain on B 2324.7, all three of them.
Ms. Mahoney,
Yes.
Ms. Zottarelli.
Yes. Ms. Laurentino, and education and curriculum?
At the recommendation of the superintendent, I make a motion to approve the following items: E2324.7 through E2324.15.
Second?
Any comments, questions?
If I may?
Yes, you may.
I know Mr. Raccomando was not here on Monday, so we have the field trip request and then Point 8 is the clinical intern partnership. That's at Ramapo College. We currently have 15 of their student teaching with us across our buildings this year. It's been a wonderful experience so far. We are recommending a delayed opening on October 10th for the PSAT. For only the high school students not taking the PSAT. Middle school students will still report at their regular start time. The same for our NJGPA testing. That's the graduating test for our juniors. So we're also going to recommending another delayed opening for high school students not taking the NJGPA, and the middle school students will report at the regular start time. Then we have our musical dates, March 8th through March 10th. The SAIL curriculum is the special education curriculum for our multiple disabilities classrooms here at the 7 to 12 building. Point 13, the high impact tutoring grant. That is a state grant that Mrs. DeBonis just submitted the application for, and it does need to be approved by the Board of Education. They are, once you submit the application, they will tell you how much money we receive. So even though the amount of the grant, the amount of money that we would receive from the grant did come out publicly, they did inform us that's not necessarily a guarantee. So they said it's based on our application, then they tell us how much money we get. And you have to target 3rd and 4th graders for tutoring, so we are. And then you also have the option to expand it. So we're looking to expand it now to our high school students and hopefully work on some SAT, ACT, and tutoring sessions for them. Then we have that's a revision of our out-of-district placements and a revision of our service providers, which are those organizations, those companies that provide services such as neurological, psychiatric evaluations, things like that for our students. So it's just a revision.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions?
I have a question for you, Chair.
Yes.
And this is right up your alley with the students. So if we receive this grant, the teachers that will be teaching it and tutoring them would be paid through the grant.
It's actually mandated that you do that, that you pay one of your staff members to oversee the program.
Okay, so.
So we'll have a G word instead of an S.
Yes.
I like
So
that.
I told you you would like that question.
Anyone else? Seeing none, roll call, Mr. Karati?
Ms. Torbeck?
Yes.
Ms. Traverso?
Yes.
Mr. Raccomando?
Yes.
Ms. Ianello?
Yes to all, but I'm going to abstain in E2324.7, field trips 964 through 967.
Mr. Laurentino?
Yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Ms. Zottarelli?
Yes. Mr. Shear's not here, so at the recommendation of the superintendent, I make a motion to approve the following items under budget and finance. BF 2324.10 through BF 2324.21.
Second.
Any comments or questions?
I would, if I may.
Yes, you may.
Just want to acknowledge the First Reformed Church of Saddlebrook and the Saddlebrook Women's Club for their donations to our student population here. So thank you.
Thank you, and thank both of those organizations. Thank you. Any other comments or questions? Roll call, Mr. Karati?
Ms. Torbeck?
Yes.
Ms. Traverso?
Yes.
Mr. Raccomando?
Yes.
Ms. Ianello?
Yes to all, but I'm going to abstain in BF 2324.10, check number 4471 and 4601. And from BF 2324.11, the workshop, item number 22.
Thank you.
Mr. Laurentino?
Yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Ms. Zottarelli?
Yes. Vinnie, do you have to abstain from the check?
No, because it's
No.
August.
We're
Okay.
still in August. Actually, no.
Just check.
We got paid in August.
It's still
I
summer.
was like,
So does that mean we can now move it to a 12-month pay cycle?
No.
Perfect.
He just slid that right in there.
Under Facilities and Operations, Mr. Akamundo.
Sure. At the recommendation of the superintendent, I make a motion to approve the following items. F2324.2.
I don't know if we can handle this.
I know that's a lot. Take your time.
Any questions or comments? All right. Go ahead. I thought you said I did.
Oh, no, I'm good.
Okay. Mr. Karati, roll call?
Ms. Torvik?
Yes.
Ms. Traverso?
Yes.
Mr. Accomando?
Yes.
Ms. Ianello?
Yes.
Mr. Lorentino?
Yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
And Ms. Zardelli?
Yes. Mrs. Ianello, under policy?
We have nothing
Okay.
as of now.
Any comments or questions?
Go.
Under negotiations, at the recommendation of the superintendent, I make a motion to approve the following item, N2324.2.
Second.
Second. Any comments, questions? Okay, Mr. Karati?
Ms. Torvik?
Yes.
Ms. Traverso?
Yes.
Mr. Accomando?
Yes.
Ms. Ianello?
Yes.
Mr. Lorentino?
Yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Ms. Zardelli?
Yes. Mrs. Torvik, under personnel?
At the recommendation of the superintendent, I make a motion to approve the following items. P2324.10 through P2324.17.
Second.
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 Any questions or comments?
If I may?
Yes, you may.
I just want to remind the board that when you see teachers with their steps, that it's not necessarily aligned with the number of years of experience, because since we renegotiated the contract, we're condensing the number of steps from 28 to 21 over the 5-year period. So some of the steps are combined, so it's affected that. So the step that teachers are on or being hired at does not align with their years of experience. I just want to make sure that's understood.
Thank you.
Through the chair.
Go ahead. You're going to
Okay.
take my thunder.
Oh, I don't know. Let's see.
Go ahead.
On P2324.10, number 3, sorry. I just want to thank Mark for his hard work and dedication to the district. He was well liked by the staff and students, and he is going to be missed.
I concur. Anyone else? Okay, seeing how there is no one else, we have a second on that. Can we have roll call?
Ms. Torvik?
Yes.
Ms. Traverso?
Yes.
Mr. Accomando?
Yes.
Ms. Ianello?
Yes to all, but I'm going to abstain from P2324.14, item number 3.
Mr. Lorentino?
Yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Ms. Zardelli?
Yes. Okay. We have any committee reports? I don't think we had any meetings.
I have long school.
Okay. Liaison report?
I have one. Through the chair.
Okay, Mike, you can start.
All right, through the chair. Here we go. I don't have my glasses on, so. Smith School PTO updates for board meetings, and here it is. Smith will have their first PTO meeting on Zoom on Tuesday, October 3rd. We will vote on the budget and review the plan for the year. We'll kick off our readathon on October 1st. Students are invited to track their hours to win prizes for reading. We will also have prizes and incentives for fundraising. Our first restaurant night will be at Mario's on September 28th, and the Fall Fest is planned for October 20th, and also Picture Day is October 26th. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Long School.
Hallie, go ahead.
Long School PTO will be having their first meeting on Tuesday, October 10th in their cafeteria. Meetings will subsequently follow the second Tuesday of each month. Their upcoming events include their Fall Book Fair will be held next Tuesday, the 26th, and Wednesday, the 27th during school hours. They will also be hosting an event in the evening of the same night, 28th, back to school night, they'll be having the book fair there as well. I apologize. They're asking you to stop by their PTO tables, do their volunteering for upcoming PTO events. Looking forward to a wonderful school year.
No, I need to apologize. I did not follow up. The middle school, high school did have a meeting on Monday, and I didn't do my due diligence and follow up to see if they had anything to relay. Do we want to say, I don't want to put you on the spot, but. We didn't hear, it's November 13th, right? I promise I will have something. No, it's me. I didn't follow up, and the day escaped me today, so I apologize to everyone that I didn't follow up, but next month, I promise I will.
We'll just beat you with a wet noodle. Okay, is there one for Washington, Mrs. Trubick? No. I have Franklin School.
I know they're moving on to the second phase of the playground. That much I do know, Washington.
Okay. Franklin School kicked off their membership, and they are still currently accepting members, so please, if you did not join yet, see one of the officers. Their first meeting is October 10th. Their book fair is next week. Picture Day is 10/24. They're planning their pumpkin patch event. They don't have a date yet, and a readathon, and they had a readathon in the fall. Back to school night is Tuesday, 9/26. And that's it for school liaisons. Is there any correspondence? Any old business? Go ahead, Mrs. Iannello. Through the chair.
Through the chair. I think, I always get confused with the old and new business. But I wanted to know, the therapy dog, is there any possibility of him coming to a board meeting?
Everyone's a thought.
I think it would be very nice for us to see Tom as well. I don't know, I'm just putting it out there, you know how I feel about therapy dogs.
I can share that request with my staff.
Does Tom have to stay the whole meeting?
No, I don't know.
Just give them water.
It depends.
It could be a presentation.
That's a lovely idea. See, that's a lovely idea.
Let us know, we'll bring treats.
Okay, and then I have something for new business.
Anyone else under old business? New business?
Through the chair?
Yes.
Okay. I was very happy to see that there are college visits coming. So Montclair's coming this week, I believe, is it? Or next week? I wanted to put out, there are a lot of colleges from the southern states that come up to the northern schools and visit it. So if our students would like to see like James Madison and all of those schools that are down south, they don't have to actually take the visit there. They could have it, having something like that here, I think would be nice to broaden the horizons of our students. So if they don't have that opportunity to get down to those colleges, is that something we can look into?
They can come with Tom. Anyone else under new business?
Yes, through the chair. If I could, on Saturday at the football game, unfortunately, my son was injured. And I want to thank Dr. Bella Pianta, right? Dr. B, his staff, Nick the trainer, Ms. Felderman for watching my daughter when this was all going on, Mr. Meisch, Ms. Violetti, Mr. Iannello, Coach VK, family, friends, players, staff. Thank you so much for your calls, your texts, and your concern for my son. I truly appreciate it. And thank you so much.
How's he doing, Mike?
We actually went to the neurologist today. He's doing very well. And we go back in 7 to 10 days. So hopefully he'll be cleared to stand on the sideline, not play.
This is wood.
Thank you.
Knock on it. Anyone else under new business? Can I have a motion to open the meeting to the public for public comment?
Motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Anyone wishing to speak, please step up to the microphone, state your name and address.
Hi, I'm Lisa Gonzalez, Southbrook. I just wanted to, we finalized the candidates night,
Can you just
so it's
speak a little
October 26th,
The 26th?
the 26th of October. Just, and I'm sorry we didn't email you. I just,
I can't do that week.
and I just,
That's the week of our convention.
We'll be back.
right, it's the, I think the convention's over at
No,
noon.
it's 4 days this year.
It's 4 days this
4
year.
days.
It's
Right.
Thursday. Is that Thursday?
It's a Thursday night.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Sorry.
I'll shut up.
No, it just, it was almost impossible to find,
Uh-huh.
you know, the moderator and everybody to coordinate all together. It was just, yeah, we tried, and it's almost impossible to get even all the candidates to try to get, but we're doing our best.
Let's hope I don't get stuck in traffic on the way back from AC.
We'll serve coffee and we'll just try to keep everybody entertained. I don't know if we're supposed to put a formal request for the auditorium. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so, I also wanted to, take a second and say thank you that you'll be, moving your offices to Coolidge and allowing our students to have a little bit more room here, because I know from my kids both, they would definitely enjoy the space. If I may, just to not waste, anybody's time, Coolidge School on the referendum did state interior restoration, including an elevator for ADA compliance, boiler replacement, upgraded restrooms, and more to make this space usable for offices. So they're right on key. So, anyway, thank you, and I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mrs. Sikamatalis. Anyone else?
Hello? Omar Rodriguez, Brook. As I was presenting those folders, for the people at home, we are one of the worst school systems in the state of New Jersey. And it's been for many years. But the leaders do not want to change. And that's why we elect people. But apparently, they got such control, like they can't say boo. This is a democracy. We're not in China. We're not in Cuba. If someone have the brains to interact and respond, I believe we could do better. Right now, how can someone explain it to me? An Oprah request have 51 pages, and I have to go to, that's the minutes of the agenda. Yes,
Can I ask you a
sure.
question, Mr. Rodriguez? I don't know what your Oprah request was, but
It's right there.
was all the information that you requested there?
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
you didn't look?
Because, no, I read it all 51 pages. But originally, I just asked for the upper management, salary and wages, and others, like longevity or any bonus or merit pay that used to be paid in the past. So I was told that it's not accepted, that I have to come with names and titles of the people that I want to request it. Who am I? A magician? Where am I going to get the names from? I don't know who works for the school system. So I have to come back another day and make it general. Make another form and say, I want to request salary and wages and longevity and extra pay for all district school employees. And that's what I receive through an email. 51 pages. And I just heard someone that is getting paid $250,000 approximately to the taxpayers. That's all it is required, and he doesn't have to put in a spreadsheet. You put a student up there in half hour, they will put in a spreadsheet. We have to turn the page. this nowadays is technology. We are in the age of artificial intelligence, and they cannot put in a spreadsheet. However, I will finish with this in that subject. If you go to the file number 3 on the red carpet that I gave you, it says something that I can't find, and it's underlined with red ink. It says that it's attached all the costs of his office or himself, but I don't find the spreadsheet that is stating. It's with red ink. Can you please read it?
I can't even find it.
May I go?
Sure. Right here, I got it.
Okay, Bob. Can you just please read that, please?
You can read it. You can read it. Detailed statement of contract costs spreadsheet.
Okay. Things of that nature, I couldn't find in the 51 pages that was given to me. So they can give me a list of 20 or 30 that I have to go crisscross on different dates, March, June, whatever. Why to make it difficult for the residents? They can tell me that they got 20 employees, and I have to eat it because I don't know what the truth is now. In there, it says that it's a spreadsheet, never to be found a spreadsheet. Is there any extra pay? I don't know. So he just claimed that I'm just targeting about the longevity. No. Most of the state of New Jersey has taken away the longevity. In the municipal side, the only ones that are receiving longevity is the police department. But that's by contract and negotiations. Most of the school districts that I don't even want to mention their names, bigger school district and a smaller, has taken away this part of the negotiation contract. Right? You want this, I'll give you more, but I'm going to take it away. Or for new employees, no more longevity. Why? Because if you see this agenda today, in every single agenda, teachers are leaving because there is no money for them. But we are very heavy at the top. So if one employee in 4 years costs us $1 million, of course it's not going to be money for the teachers. We have to reinvent ourselves. Please, there is just one particular principal that is making $175,000. I don't know if it's merit pay, I guess not. I didn't see nowhere. For the superintendent, it's just making $197, if I'm not mistaken. But one principal is making $175. Other principals are making $120, I think. So I don't know the correlation. I don't know how does it work. All I was just trying to do is make sense. But I'm not going to bore you with that. I'm going to leave you with that and just find out if you as a parent are okay with 51 pages that you got to go through things that you don't want to see, instead of receiving a professional report. And on top of that, they got secretaries, assistants. Shame on them. Come on, this age of technology. If they don't know how to do a spreadsheet, go home. Stay there. Now, gonna turn the page, because, and then again, professionally speaking, in any company, whomever cannot do those type of tasks, they're gonna send you for training. At least take a training. But don't say that that's all what they gotta do for the public. Public deserve respect. Is any advance, change it or no, is any advance on showing the meetings on TV? I believe that it's been said for a long time now that it was going to go into the station, the TV station in town. I was just wondering when, if anything, is going to happen. It will be nice. The only thing that I can just ask or advise that whenever you go in there, because Ms. Ayanello was just reading some numbers the way you go, I accept that. But the people at home, even now, they might not understand. Not even the people in the audience. They talk too fast, BF203D. So how are you going to find out? It will be nice to at least mention what the line item is, so people at least understand. This is in regards to supplies or a school bus or whatever. Just a suggestion. Then again, you gotta realize that there are a lot of people that are losing their homes in town. We used to be an upper middle class. If you see the list now of the people that cannot pay the taxes, you will be embarrassed just to look at the list. People that have worked all their life and they can't afford the taxes. The reason I'm saying that is because the school system is eating $4 million a month. We can do better so the value of the homes can increase in property value. They are nearby towns, smaller towns than ours, and have been able to improve their education in 2 or 3 years because those leaders just said, listen, it's time to change things around. And I know that you could do it if you all get together. It's just time to work. It's not about criticism. It's just to bring it up to light, certain things that might not be working for a long time. So respectfully, I'm just asking, please, try to look from a different point of view. If we will continue doing the same, nothing is going to change. And finally, I just want to say about, you just mentioned about Franklin School, and we live nearby each other. I don't know, it's unrelated, 2 things. I don't know if they're still doing residency check, like in the past they used to do it. But for some reason, this year, I experienced seeing so many cars like never, ever, ever before. It's going 2-3 blocks towards 5th. It's going towards Madison Avenue, North 7. It's not that I don't want it to park. They're residents. If they got the kids, that's fine. But what the problem that they are creating is because they're waiting for such a long time, they leaving the debris, bottles, and everything in people's front yards. And I don't know if you guys can do something, or it's the municipality. I don't know. It's just something new that I bring because I see it, and I don't know if we need a crossing guard on North 7 and Madison in the corner, because God forbid a kid is crossing, some kids are walking on their own, and the traffic is very tight there because they are parking in both sides of the street on Lance Avenue. And the people, when they make the turn, they just pass by, the kids are crossing on their own. There might be a problem because if you realize that the crossing path is not in the corner, it's by the middle, not the middle of the street, but close to the corner.
Can I
Yes.
just interrupt you? 1
Sure,
minute?
President.
As you should know, because you were a council president,
Yes.
crossing guards are through the town, not us.
Yes, I don't know about
So
now.
you'd have to go to the town and
I will.
request a crossing guard.
No, I will, but then in regards to the Board of Education, I don't know again if this is Board of Education or not. I don't know the numbers on Franklin School, to be honest with you. But this is, 30 years that I've been living there. The first time ever that I see cars going to 5th Street and parking into Madison. That is not the problem. The problem is how to do it in order for the people not to leave the garbage. Thank you all for listening, and apologies if anybody take it personal. It's nothing personal. The same way that you are doing your job from there, I'm gonna try to do my job from here, from the outside. Sometimes I might see things different, but it doesn't mean that I don't like you. You're doing a great job. Keep on doing it. Just try to change a little bit.
Thank
If you
you.
don't mind, I can take the folders, I guess, right? Can I take the folders? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Good night. Oh, you can keep one. You just need one.
You can have one.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
They
Thank you.
pulled it out of that
All
one.
right. Have a good night.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. Anyone else wishing to speak? Seeing none, motion to close the meeting to the public?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any, Mr. Violeta, would you like to comment on anything that was said?
Sure. I'll start with the easy. Mrs. Sikama, tell us, candidates night, October 26th, is there a time for that? Okay, thank you.
7 PM? Is that what you said?
Okay, save the date will be sent out. Thank you. Okay. First, I want to just say that I appreciate any community member that is going to come to the Board of Ed meeting and, share what their concerns are. I do want to say, I know Mrs. Sicamatellis pointed it out, then I checked while Mr. Rodriguez was speaking just to make sure. I always second guess myself. There was never a change with Coolidge School, the way it was submitted to the state, the way it was presented at flyers. I went through every presentation I shared with the community, and it was always saying office space. What wasn't said was what offices, because honestly, that was up for discussion. We talked about moving our tech offices there. We talked about moving the director's offices there. And there's pros and cons to leaving the building, 100%. The pro is that we are creating additional space for our students, which is what it's all about. The con is that we're not part of the building anymore. However, the pros to that is I can have meetings without lockdowns, fire drills, bells ringing, announcements, and all of that. The students banging on the door right outside my office for athletics. So that piece is, a little bit better. But I don't want to imply, I don't want the implication to be that we don't care about the students, because I actually take that very seriously. Just today, I was at Washington School today, I was at Long School, Smith School, and the middle school, high school today. And as a matter of fact, at the middle school, high school, I was even asked to participate in one of the classes. I went to Mrs. Rippus's class. There was 3 students. They were doing elevator pitches, and we walked around the hallway together while the students pitched their idea to me. I love that. I never want to forget that it's about the kids, and that is something that I do take very seriously. So even though moving forward with moving our offices out of this building does not mean by any way, shape, or form that we are not all about the students and that we're going to lose those connections with the kids. This is not the only building in district. It is the largest one, but we do have 5 buildings across the district that I actually take that responsibility very seriously to go to each building, connect with our children. I go to the classrooms, and I helped a kindergarten student today at Smith School that was struggling with entering the building, and then called the mom to make sure the mom knew that she was okay. So that's something that, there's pros and cons, absolutely, and it is a change, but it wasn't a decision that was made quickly by any means. I just wanted to share that Mr. Rodriguez, he implied that when he came to the office that we were hiding under a desk, but I can guarantee that did not happen. If anyone ever comes to the office and asks to speak with me, my office will tell me, even if I'm not there, maybe I was walking around the building, but I would always get back to that person. That's something also that I take that responsibility very seriously. So if it was requested to reach out to me, I 100% would have contacted him or whoever it is that shows up for a meeting. I've actually never turned anybody away. Even if I'm at the building, I would go back to the office to meet with them. So that is something that, I don't want the implication out there that that's what we do, is hiding under desks. And as far as our central office, it's one of the smaller offices in the county. So I know, it was shared at the meeting that salaries, and there is no one in our district that makes close to $250,000. And we do have secretaries, yes. These are needed for a district to run efficiently and effectively. So that's something that, when you actually look at the number of people we have, it's on the smaller side in Bergen County. And longevity also it's across the county. That's something that's not unique to Saddlebrook. It is in our contracts, and I can speak very certainly that it's in the contracts of most of our districts in Bergen County, because it's a topic that does come up at our county meetings. And then Mr. Rodriguez mentioned the littering. That's something we actually do meet with. We have a township liaison meeting. It's something that we can add to the agenda, and we can discuss with the township at that time. So we really do appreciate community members that do come to the meetings and just share their suggestions. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Mr. Karati, would you like to comment on anything?
Not much, because Mr. Rodriguez is not here, but if he tends to watch the meeting, I'll say what I said on Monday night. An open request is an open public records request, or the act. It's for government records. It's not for district employees to produce what the person wants to see. He asked for salaries, stipends, and longevity. I emailed him. I didn't print those documents out. He did. They were emailed to him, and it has everything he's looking for. If you follow our agendas, which are on the website, I don't know why my mic is not working that well, but they're all there. We link them up. It's transparent. Has everybody's salary, everybody's stipend, everybody's longevity. I also gave him my contract and the superintendent's contract. He has all the information. Again, we don't have to, you can go to the Government's Record Council. You don't have to produce a spreadsheet for any individual. It's a record. It's a record the district what we have on file, and that's what we have on file, and we answered his Oprah request, so.
Thank you.
Any questions from the board on Oprah requests, or?
Can I comment on it?
I
Sure.
was just gonna say the same thing.
For me, and I worked for the police department, as people are aware. I've been retired 6 years, which is a lifetime ago. But back in that time of my life, I was in charge of Oprah. And unless the law's changed, but I don't think it has, no one in this state is required to produce a report that doesn't otherwise exist. So we're not required to take the data, and nobody is, and put that in a report and produce it to the public. My concern is being on the board, is we're responsible to make sure that our administrator, our superintendent are doing their job. So I just want people to be clear that Mr. Karate is doing his job, and he did produce, I'm assuming you produced the correct documents that he requested, which is he's required to do, but he's not required, no matter how much AI or how many students we have that can put this information together. We do not put that information together, so thank you, Ray, for doing the correct job.
Thank you.
Through the chair.
Anyone else have any comments? Go ahead.
Through the chair. I just want to piggyback onto what Vinny just said, that, for me, I feel like that would have been a waste of our resources to take someone off the job they're doing every day to sit and create a spreadsheet. He was given the information he asked for, and I don't see why one of our secretaries or anyone else should be take time out of their day to create that spreadsheet. So, thank you.
Ms. Ionello?
Through the chair, so I'm going to piggyback off of that, even though we probably said this to death at this point. If you look at tonight's agenda, you will see the employee's name, why they're getting paid, and how much they're getting paid. So our agendas have all of the items there. So at some point or another, everyone in the community is seeing no less that all of our employees, our salaries are part of the state website. So you can Google our names and find out how much we're making.
It's all public record.
It's all public record, yes. And as far as the super and the director not being student-centered, their positions aren't. So when he was saying how they're being away from the students, the teachers and the principals are the people who are dealing with our students on a day-to-day basis. Yes, I think it's wonderful that our superintendent is going into the different classrooms and into the different schools, but her job is central office. Most bigger districts are not. Their central office is not part of the high school, is not in one of the schools. So it's not uncommon for us to want to go somewhere else and make those rooms student-centered. So the principals were not going to Coolidge, and obviously the teachers aren't going there. As far as longevity, teachers have longevity. I am a teacher, I have longevity. That's what we do. It is part of a contract, and it's for those teachers that have spent years at that school. That's why we have longevity, and to thank you. So, so I've been at my district for 18 years. I'm very happy to have that I have that, and I know that our teachers are well deserving of that. The workload that Mr. Karate does and the central office is tremendous, and if you're not in education, you may not understand the undertaking, and I could understand Mr. Rodriguez is not in education, so he does not see what it's like. I was in the business world, came into education, what a world of difference. It's such a different world, so to take them to do that, to create a report for him would be ridiculous. And as far as my abstaining from items, I abstain because my husband's an administrator. I think most of the community knows that. Anyone underneath him, I need to abstain so that there is no question as to any favoritism or anything that should not be happening. So I abstain from anything that has any direct connection to him so that I am transparent with the community. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Can I please make a comment? I would just like to say that as a student here, all the administrators and teachers and staff here are very welcoming. And me as a student, I never felt that anyone was hiding or anything like that. And as a student, there's so many opportunities for us. I'm here today, and I would just like to thank everybody for letting me here and have a voice and represent the high school.
Thank you.
I just want to say, even with Mrs. Violetti, if they do end up moving out, I can guarantee you she's going to be visible here. I can guarantee you that.
I agree.
Keep it up, Mike. All right. Any other comments? Seeing none, I'd like a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Everyone, thank you for coming. Have a great night. We will see you next month on October 11th. I just want to let everyone know, we're doing one night, October 11th. We're doing the work session and our regular meeting. So there won't be two meetings next month.